go through a full body limber. The idea with that is that it'll take us maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and it's something you can do over and over and over again. If you're going to go for a run on a Saturday morning, or you're coming back from surfing or something like that and you're a little bit tight, kind of all over, this would be a great one to throw together, and by the time you get competent at it, you can do it in under 20 minutes because you just sort of follow the exercises back to back to back. Okay, we'll try and go kind of the entire hog. We're not going to leave any stone unturned, or we'll leave as few unturned as possible. Okay, so we need a little bit of space. We need relatively soft matting. If you want to grab a cushion, I'm going to call it a princess cushion, you can grab one of those. If you don't, just suck it up, that'll be fine. And yeah, I'm going to get my little cheat sheet up. If you have any bother as we go through, give me a shout, and I'll try and pay special attention and see what's going on. Here we go. All right. So what we're going to start off with is, if I sort my knife out and get the thing on the right page in the first place, that would be great. That needs to go there. Ah, wonderful. Okay, so we're going to start off with a standing straddle. So we're going to go legs out about 90 degrees. Nora, I can't see you. I'm just going to trust that you're following along.
Hold on a second to see. That's any better?
Wonderful. So legs at about 90 degrees. We're going to go hands down the middle. Don't worry if you can't touch the floor, that's fine. We're looking for legs to stay straight. Go hands in the middle, we'll go hands over the left, and then hands over the right. Okay? Back to the middle, left, middle, right. Middle, left, middle, right. You can start to follow along. And with this one, we're kind of going until you feel your limbs kind of soften up a little bit and let you move. Okay, so for each person that'll be different. For some of us it'll take, hopefully not 20 minutes. For others it'll take like 10 seconds. It depends on how conditioned your joints are. Alright, and we'll relax out of that. You're going to pop yourself up then onto straight legs. Okay, so feet are together, legs are fully locked. And from there, we're going to fold over and try and set your chest as close to your thigh as you can. We'll bounce once, twice, and then we'll squat ourselves down onto our heels. Feel free to lift those heels as high as you need to, and we'll kind of do 2 squats. So 2 pike, 2 squat, we'll do 10 of those. Okay, feel free to scale the reps if it feels just like the worst thing in the world. That's totally cool. My vision was better, I could actually see that screen, isn't it? Okay, 10-ish, wonderful. Okay, cool. And if some of these things just seem totally overwhelming, that's okay. Do your best impression of what it is that we're doing. So, next thing we're going to do is a side-to-side squat. Again, legs are nice and wide. We're going to squat over to one side. Okay, if you can get all the way down, cool beans. If you're stuck up here somewhere, that's totally sweet. And what we'll do is we'll slide across to the other side. That feels just about hot garbage right now. And slide over to the other side. As we're sliding, we're trying to pull with the foot. So we're applying this kind of force to drag us across. And we'll do, let's say 3 each side, that's 6 in total. Cool. Just as much as you can without pain, as always. I good shout. In time, we'd like to brush that bum across the floor like a cloth. Wonderful. Cool. Alright, so this next one then, we're going to keep with our theme of our legs being spread. If you can do this on the floor, cool beans. If you need to rest yourself up on a little podium, that's also cool. And if you want to sit on the side of the sofa, that would work as well. From this straddle position then, we're going to have one hand on thigh, so say left hand on right thigh. Right hand then is going to go up and over. We're going to wave to our toes. Then we'll do the same on the other side. We'll pause for a couple of seconds and we'll do, again, 3 on each side. That's 6 in total. Hopefully freeing up those obliques a little bit. If you feel the old love handles compress and feel uncomfortable here, that's good incentive to lose the love handles. But also it just happens. No matter how lean you are, it'll always feel like you're stabbing yourself. And then staying in our straddle, this time we're going to go both hands, we're going to reach over a foot, we're going to bounce once, twice, and then bounce once, twice. So as we're bouncing over our leg, trying to keep our leg squeezed rather than letting it go soft. Okay, let's do 5 bounces each side, that's 10 in total. And again, if it feels like you're not moving very far, don't freak out, it's okay. We all gotta start somewhere. But keep working on engaging the muscles, tucking the toes, locking the quads, and you'll get there. Cool. Alright, so exact same position you were just in, whether it's on the floor, on a podium, or on a sofa. It's all good. It's all good. So from here, we're going to put the hands behind the head. And we're going to maintain that nice tall chest. Okay. What we're trying to avoid here is slumping away over where you can see your private area. We want to be up so high that your nose is covering that private area completely. From there, we're going to hinge ourselves over and come back up again. We're trying to go over so far that our bum actually comes off the floor and we're just sitting on the hamstrings. We'll do 5 of those and then we'll hold down there for 10. Okay, I'm going to count these ones out. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, keeping those legs nice and straight, pressing the heels into the floor, 4, and on this last one, we're going to hold down there, down and hold, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and press back out of it. Wonderful. Everyone's starting to feel like their muscles are doing things and stuff? Yeah. Excellente. Excellente. Alright, so that was an active version. This is going to be the passive version. Okay, so active, we're holding that position. Passive, we're going to set the hands down. We're going to let ourselves round over as much as we need to and see how low to the floor we can get while keeping the legs nice and strong. So if our legs start to rotate in or our knee starts to bend a little bit, we're trying to prevent that by engaging out. Okay, so we'll go down there for about 15 seconds. Again, relatively short. It's more of a activation position, getting used to that movement. Like I said, all this can be done as a warm-up or as a cool-down, as a limber. And once you get proficient and you know kind of the sequence, you can bash it out in no time at all. And relax. Whew. Wonderful. Okay, so very similar idea, but this time in a pike. So pike, we've got those feet locked together. We're going to point those tippy toes. We're going to go hands behind the head, and as best we can, we're going to do our good mornings over. Let's do our 5 good mornings and a 10-second hold. And go. There's 1. There's 2. 3. 4. Keeping those legs locked. And this one we're staying down. 5 and stay down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. What we'll do then, we're going to stay in the same position, but instead of the toes being pointed, this time we're going to pull the toes back. So if hypothetically you completely ignored me asking you to point your toes, and your toes were pulled back, let's do the opposite this time. The idea of pulling the toes back, we're going to get a little bit more calf stretch. It's probably going to feel even more like vomit when you do it. So this time we're going to go fingers outstretched in front of us. We're going to reach them as far over the tippy toes as we can, really pulling those toes back. And again, end goal here, we'd like to be able to set the hands fully past the feet. Okay, but active position, let's hold those fingers up. Let's go for 15 seconds. If it already feels like hot garbage, that's great. Good job. Well done. Keep trying to push those fingers as far forward as you can, bringing your chest towards your thighs. And then what we'll do is grab the furthest point that you can on your body, be that your heels, be that your shins, be that your kneecaps, and you're going to haul ass. You're going to pull yourself down as deep as you can go. End goal here, trying to set your nose between your knees. It's going to feel pretty burny. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's also pretty roasting down there right now. Feeling pretty warm. Alright. So that's a lot of behind the legs. Let's move up kind of to our hips. So we're going to go in a hurdler position. I.e. one leg's going to go out, and instead of this one being out that way, I'm going to turn it. Feels like terrible. It's going to be out at 90-ish degrees. Okay, turned it up a little bit. So again, if you need to be up on your podium here, that's fine. If you're on a sofa, you can sit on the edge of the sofa and kind of tuck one foot up onto the edge of it too. Okay, from here, we're looking for 90 degrees between your legs and also 90 degrees between your shin and your thigh. I don't know why my voice is doing that. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. Oh, feels awful. From here, what we're going to do, very similar to what we've just done. We're going to bounce over, 1, 2, up to 5, and then we'll hold for 10. Then we'll do the same thing in this gap, okay, between our legs. We'll do 10 bounces, and then we'll hold for 10. Then we're going to grab our knee, we're going to bounce over that knee. We'll do that for 5, and then hold for 10. And see what that looks like. Okay, so over the toes, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Over the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's do the same on the other side. Just what we wanted to hear. So give yourself a little second for the cramps to kind of go away. Okay. And we'll go over the toes. 4. You what, sir?
Torture.
Absolute torture. Exactly, Nora. You've nailed it. That was the aim. Okay. Interlock those fingers over the toes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 2, 3. Trying to set the hips on the floor. 7, 8, 9, 10. In the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3. Keep reaching. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Over the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wonderful. Alright, good news is everyone's still alive so far. So we'll step things up a notch. We'll go a little bit harder. Great. Nobody cares, Joe. Nobody cares. Only joke. Alright, so this time we're going to go into a lunge. And we're going to be messing around with this kind of shape. So we're looking for that back knee on the floor, front knee kind of over the ankle. And we're aiming to keep that torso up nice and tall. Okay, so we're going to be pushing down. We're trying to get a nice straight line from one knee to the other. We're going to hold that about 15 seconds and then we're going to push ourselves back, pull the toe up. We're going to hold here for about 15 seconds. Then we'll do the same thing but in a deeper position. A deeper position. And then we might even finish off with a little flourish and see about a front split and hold in that front split as best we can. Stunned silence, perfect. Good job, guys. All right, so start off with your tighter side if you know what one that is. Go. And we're pressing that hip down to the floor. Hopefully feeling that stretch kind of down the front of the hip and the hip flexor. Keeping that torso up nice and tall, away from your thigh. Pushing your hip down towards the floor. And now we'll straighten out that front leg. Give that leg a little hug. See how low down you can get. This is uncomfortable in your knees, just get a bigger cushion. Give yourself a bit of padding that you're resting on. And then what we'll do is move your foot a foot forward. So put your heel where your toe was. Oh dear. And we'll do the same thing. Try and push that hip down. Opening up the front of the hip. Squeezing the butt. And then we'll straighten out that front leg. Bring your body down. Try to push your hip forward so you get more of a hamstring stretch. That squares off your hips as well. Alright, if you've got it in you, go into as deep a position as you can. If you ain't got that today, don't sweat it, just chill out, have a bit of water, see what you can do. Hold that position for 10-15 seconds. And then we'll swap sides. So, nice basic lunge. Torso up tall, push the hip forward and down. Good. Again, feeling that stretch in the front of the hip. Let's straighten out that front leg. Bring your chest down your thigh. If you get more of a stretch by pulling the toe back, do that. If you prefer it forward, that's fine. Then we'll go step that foot a foot forward into the lunge again. And then straighten out the front leg. Keeping that other hip pushed forward, so we're keeping those hips nice and square. And then again, if you think you've got it in you, going down into as deep a position as you can. Check out those hips, 10, 15 seconds. And wonderful.
Oh, I think much longer.
Alright, so before we go to upper body stuff, let's do one final check of our lower body, and that's going to be our middle split check. Okay, so depending on what stage you're at with these, will depend on kind of whereabouts you are. So if you're starting out with these, you're going to go in that standing position, keep your torso nice and upright, and we're going to think about pulling your feet towards each other, keeping the legs locked, so we're building up some strength in that groin. If you're a little bit further on, you're going to bring yourself down as low as you possibly can. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to hold here for a little bit, and then what we'll do is we'll make it a little bit harder. Okay, so if you're going just for a hold, that's cool. Let's start that now. We'll do about 30 seconds. If you're trying a more advanced version, also start that now. We'll do a bit shorter. Cool. If you're doing the more advanced ones, keep letting those feet slip out until you're a little bit concerned. And then here's why you should be concerned. You're going to lift up onto your fingertips. You're going to really work those legs to support that position.
No. Too far, too far.
And everyone can chill out. Nice. So again, this being a limber, we're keeping our reps low and our sets short. And that's to allow you to get through it relatively quickly. And it's just enough to kind of activate all the muscles and joints and all that kind of jazz as we go through. So upper body, and then we are done. So let's start with our wrists. Okay, first thing we're going to do, our fingers are going to go forward. We're going to lock those elbows so the elbow pit is pointed the same direction as the fingers, and we're going to lean over. We'll do 5 bounces.
Oh, tight.
Okay, then we'll do the opposite position. So fingers are going to go out to the side and back towards the knees. Elbows will automatically face the right direction. Going to lock those arms and then bounce back 5 times. As you do this, try to pull your knuckle up towards your elbow. Then we'll go the opposite way. So fingers in and back towards the knee. In and back towards the knee. Most of this movement actually comes from your shoulder. Then we'll do 5 bounces, bouncing back towards your knees. And then everyone's favourite, we're going to go on the back of the hand so that you can see your palms. And we're still going to rotate those elbow pits forward. And this time we're going to ease ourselves back. Notice I didn't say bounce, we're just easing. Tends to be a lot tighter in adults, so we're just being super careful with that. And relax. Okay, so again we're going to do something that's kind of got 2 levels. So level 1, it requires a little bit of strength work in order to stimulate change. And the other is also strength work, but with a straight arm. Okay, so hands tend to be super duper strong. We use them every day to grip stuff, to open things, and so we need to use a bit of force to kind of change them. So the straight arm version of these, we're going to start off with all of our fingers staying on the floor. We're going to push up like so, aiming to get a nice 90-degree angle between the fingers and the palms. So the fingers stay down the whole time. Okay, the bent arm version of this, we're going to do push up and press up to the top, where again the fingers stay down and the palms lift up. Okay, let's do 10 reps of those. Yeah. Nora, you okay with the straight arm version? Yeah?
I'm trying.
Good, good. Glad to see you guys who are doing the bent arm version are doing it from your knees. Failed to mention that, but it's a good top tip. Alright, second version of that then. We're actually going to try and form a nice straight line from our fingers to our shoulders. So again, straight arm version, we're going to push up and build some strength through those fingers. Okay, what's going to happen probably is that we end up with all sorts of kinky shapes, things bending in ways that they shouldn't. It looks like you've got some weird deformity. So, bent arm version is the same. We're going to do that push up, support that position with the middle three fingers, and we'll try and do 10 of those.
You alright, Mum?
Yeah. I'm not doing point fingers.
What was that, Nora? Sorry?
I'm not doing the pointy fingers.
You're not doing the pointy fingers?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm doing flat hands flat, sorry.
What are hands? Okay.
Hey, I'm not doing it like Rebecca's doing it.
She's
Oh, yeah. Oh, perfect. Yeah, good, good. Fantastic. And then a final version of that style is going to be all on your fingers. So we're just creating a nice elevated platform for your wrist. If you're doing the straight arm versions, you're just going to hold that position and get used to supporting a little bit of weight through the fingers. If you're doing the push up, we're going to do another set of 10 of those push ups.
creeping down.
Nice. Good job, Guy. Is everyone else sweating as much as I am? A little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, it's warm.
It's ridiculous. Alright, so we've done a lot of strength involving closing the hand. We're having to contract the muscles that way. We're now going to contract the muscles the opposite way. So we're here on our fists, and then we're going to go out into this very uncomfortable position and back up again. Now, as you go out, I want you to keep a fist. Okay, so the fist stays tight, and we roll onto the back of the hand, but the wrist is going to stay off the floor. Okay, so the straight arm version here is not straight, but what it is the hands are going to be in super duper close to the knees so that you can take most of the weight on your legs. I'm going to roll out and push up, roll out and push up. If you want to try this on your knees, it's been a while, guys. It's been a while. Then we're going to go down and push back up again into that fist.
Oh my goodness.
And we'll just leave the reps short on that one, maybe 5 or 6 whatever you're currently capable of. Cool. Alrighty, gang. Those are particularly terrible, but wrist strength, hugely important for shoulder and elbow general health. So that's kind of where we're starting there. All right. Next one, we'll move kind of into our middle and upper back and lower back as well. It's going to be our seal stretch. So if I kind of show you from the side here, I'm going to go in that kneeling plank. I'm going to pull my shoulders back, lift my chest up, try and push it between my arms. I'm going to hold here, then we're going to roll over and push that hip down towards the floor. And then we'll do the same on the other side. There. Hopefully we'll get a nice sensation down in and around the hips. Okay, we'll go about 15 seconds of each, starting with the middle, and begin. Actively trying to pull the shoulders back, lifting that chest up. If you feel this pinching in your lower back, I want you to try and squeeze your bum and pull your belly button in. See if that takes any of the pressure away, and if not, go down on your elbows and do the same thing. Okay, we're going to go over onto one side. So you're pushing one side of your hip bone down towards the floor. And then we'll do the same on the other side. That's okay. Getting that deep oblique stretch right down into the hip. And relax. Alright, that brings us nicely kind of into our cat. So bum above the knees, hands out in front. I'm going to push the armpits down towards the floor and walk the hands far enough forward that we can get that kind of rounded back or curled back, those armpits down towards the floor, bum up in the air. Just like you're a cat's kind of stretching on the ground. First thing in the morning, still in your butthole. Get those armpits opened up. If your shoulders are particularly tight, you can go arms wider. And then we'll come up onto the fingers. Same position, we're going to bounce in the middle once, twice, bounce to the left, once, twice, bounce in the middle, once, twice, bounce to the right, once, twice. Let's go through that little sequence. Middle, left, middle, right, middle, left, middle, right, middle, left, middle, right. One last time, middle, left, middle, and right. Whew. Okay.
Oh, we're gone.
Almost there, gang, almost there. So, I'm going to lie on your tummy, arm out at the side, in a T shape. Okay, we're looking for 90 degrees between your arm and your body. From there, we're going to roll over. Bring your hands back towards each other, keeping your head relaxed. Let's see if we can get those fingers to touch. We'll hold that for about 20 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. If you're feeling particularly adventurous here, you can add a weight to that arm that's in the air to encourage you to get a little bit deeper. Also just try and pull your arms towards each other, get those muscles to work. We'll change sides. That's always a good sign. Aiming to keep that nice 90 degrees between your arm and your body. 3, 2, 1, and begin. so good. So staying kind of on your tummy position, we're going to reach one arm across, set that shoulder down, and then reach this other armpit down and over. Kind of like you're choking yourself with the arm that you're lying on. Once you're down there, we're trying to pull the ribs off the floor, get the tummy tucked. Just pressure down on that shoulder. Hold near about 20 seconds again. We'll change arms. You can do this one if you're sitting. You can just reach an arm across your chest and pull the elbow in towards you. That does a similar job. That's just, yeah, that's the one, Nora. Good job. Yeah, well done. Yeah. You feel it on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Perfect. Great stuff. Relax. Got two more things to do. One is a little bit of rotation. Everyone needs a bit of rotation in their life. We're going to go seated, feet together, knees together, so your legs are at 90 degrees. From there, place your hands together. We're going to rotate over. Notice how I've turned to face my hands. I'm trying to pull over as wide as I can and set down by my hip. Come back up and rotate over again. My knees are not leaving their position. I have to really fight to hold them together. Hold that nice tight shape. Let's do 3 on each side at 6 in total. And make these as hard as you possibly can. Really go that extra inch. Make it super uncomfortable. Feel those muscles cramping up. Might even get some pops if you're lucky.
I think Mum is.
Just be careful, Joe, you don't karate chop the animal. And then what we'll do to finish off, very similar position. We're going to place our hands behind us, and the goal here is to try to get your fingers to touch. Okay, so we're overlapping those hands. Now, chances are they're going to be out here, and that is just fine. The goal in that case then is to get your triceps locked and then pull your shoulders back. If we're able to pull the shoulders back, you'd be surprised at how much more movement you can now get with your hands. Okay, we're just going to go 20 seconds here to finish off. Get those triceps nice and locked. Puff that chest up. Good. Feel all those tiny muscles in between your shoulder blades, under your shoulder blades, on top of your shoulder blades, and beside your shoulder blades. Get them all nice and working. Three, two, one, and relax. Very nice. So, with that follow along, I kind of tried to talk you through some of the stuff we were doing. What I'll do is when I upload this to the mobility portal, I'll also just put it like a PDF of all the exercises and how long to hold them for, so that once you've done it a couple of times and you're kind of familiar with the movements, you can blast it out, you get it done in no time, and you'll feel super limber, super awesome.